Let us take a look at some of the news from around the globe now. Imtiaz Tyab is joining us from London. Imtiaz, you're following a few stories as usual for us. What's going on this morning?
Hey, Anne-Marie, good to talk to you. Yeah, let's start with Wuhan, China, and the World Health Organization is finally being allowed into what, of course, is the epicenter of the coronavirus. Now, it's been more than a year since the novel coronavirus first emerged from the Chinese city, and we understand that this team of scientists, 10 scientists, will attempt to try to figure out how the virus itself jumped from animals to humans. But getting answers, I got to say, it's not going to be easy. From the beginning, China has tried to prevent any kind of real scrutiny. Now, this, of course, follows real criticism from other governments that said, you know what, China, you just didn't do enough to prevent the spread of COVID-19 early on when it first started spreading inside of your borders. Now, the concern is that this World Health Organization investigation, again, over a year since the spread of this virus at the very beginning, will be more symbolic rather than having any real substance. Okay, let's cross over to Taiwan. And the U.S. ambassador to the United Nations has met with Taiwan's president virtually. Now, this web conference between Ambassador Kelly Craft and President Tsai Ing-wen was supposed to be in person this week, but it was scrapped at the last minute. And China, it has to be said, was pretty incensed by the announcement of the initial meeting, warning that the United States will, and I'm quoting here, pay a heavy price for its wrong action. Now, as you know, Beijing considers Taiwan as its own territory, a renegade province, if you will. But under the Trump administration, relations between Washington and Taipei have warmed considerably, largely through arms sales and as part of the White House's broader efforts to really challenge China abroad and at home. Okay, now let's cross over to Uganda, where it's election day today. The current president, 76-year-old Yoweri Museveni, who's been in power for over 35 years, is being challenged by a pop star turned politician called Bobby Wine. Now, this is perhaps one of the most keenly watched, and it has to be said, violent election campaigns the country has seen in a generation. Now, Wayne, with his charismatic anti-corruption message, is wildly popular with young people in Uganda, where the average age is 15 and a half years old. Now, many observers see this election as part of a much broader, continent-wide generational struggle between Africa's aging leaders who refuse to relinquish power and younger voters determined to see them out. And finally, some grim news here in the UK. Britain has recorded over 100,000 coronavirus-related deaths. Yes, 100,000 deaths. Public health experts are calling it a, quote, phenomenal failure of policy and practice. The UK now has one of the worst coronavirus mortality rates in the world at 151 deaths per 100,000 people. Now, this sharp rise in fatalities follows the emergence of a highly infectious new variant of COVID-19 and the government's decision to relax rules over the Christmas period, which is understood to have really driven up cases, hospitalizations, and deaths. Now, this staggering death toll comes as warning by many experts that the worst is yet to come and that the next few weeks could be much more worse than what we're seeing right now. Anne-Marie.
So concerning. Imtiaz Tyab, thank you so much.